This is Julie Jordan Scott, and I am glad that you are here. Replay viewers, welcome, welcome. And just come on right in, and we'll get into a writing tip for you. Also a bit of a life tip. I've been wanting for a while to talk about this, my favorite writing tip from Emily Dickinson. Today's scope was inspired by the hashtag November Scopers, which is a group of folks who get together to learn how to scope better by scoping daily. And we have prompts, and today's prompt was life hack. Now, first of all, I was like, what on earth is a life hack? I'm definitely showing my age. And then I remembered that as a writer and as a creative life coach, that one of the most important things that I do is engage people in writing better. And in writing better, life is better. So I think this qualifies as a life hack. And it comes from our dear friend. Anyone recognize this lady? That is Emily Dickinson. So she is giving us our hint for the day, our tip for the day, our life hack for the day. So I learned this when I visited her home in Amherst and went on the tour. And they showed us that one of the ways that Emily wrote was to use a variety of words when she was writing. So what I mean by that is when she was writing her poetry, starting out writing a draft, she didn't get stuck in trying to find the perfect word. Oftentimes poetry and poets are known for choosing the perfect word, the just right word. And because poems are short and concise, it's a good way to practice writing really concisely and writing really well by choosing exactly the right words. Well, Emily did that, but she also did something really cool. And you'll see it in her fascicles, which are her little kind of like chapbooks that she made. And that is that if she was writing along, if she couldn't come up with the absolutely perfect word, she would write, say, right. And then she would put a plus sign, and she would put alternative words. So she might put scribble, or scribe, or journal, so that when she went back to her poem, she could replace write with scribble, or scribe, or journal. So many of her poems have not just one version, they have several versions. People over the years have taken her poetry and played with it, and they've used different examples of words to replace the original word. And that was kind of what she did. So I imagine it, she did it so she wouldn't get stuck. So here's another one. And I was going to ask if any of you want to put in the comments other words that you might use for right. I know there's a lot of other synonyms. So just like life hack is like a life tip or, a way to make life better, a word that I didn't know what the heck it meant. These words are different ways to say right. These are different ways to say create. So if Emily was writing a poem about creating, she might say create. And then she might put a plus and say shape, or craft, or make, or blend. All of these other words that she might put in the place of create. And it makes the poem just slightly different. If you go visit her house in Amherst, and go on a tour, which my family and I I've done a couple of times, and they take you into a room at the end. It's a fabulous experience because they take some of her famous poems and they show you the different word choices that she set out. And you can actually choose which one of the words to put into the poem. And so that's always inspired me as a writer, is when I am writing along and I'm like, I get stuck because I can't think of the perfect word, I just borrow Emily's technique of putting a plus and a new word, and a plus and a new word, and a plus and a new word, with the intention of going back some time and pulling and plucking and allowing the right words to speak to me. So isn't it awesome that Emily can come in today with a life hack to make our writing and our life better? I'm really glad you hung out with me tonight. If you've never met me before, my name is Julie Jordan Scott. I'm a creative life coach who works to inspire your artistic rebirth, because the world, guess what, is waiting for your words. The world wants to hear what you have to say. Your voice is important. So I come alongside and I provide tips and techniques like this. And I also work with people individually and groups to make their writing better, or to make their life better through the craft of writing and creating and making and all sorts of other stuff. So please follow me. Press the little Perry guy. Follow me. Invite your friends to follow me. Let them know the work that's going on here. And you could even say, today I learned to create a little bit differently thanks to Julie and Emily Dickinson. So what do you say? As I said again, welcome. So glad that you all were here. If you weren't here for most of the scope, I hope that you will watch the replay, tell your friends, and when you write like Emily Dickinson did, well, actually, when you scribble like Emily Dickinson did, let me know what happens. Send me a tweet at Julie Jordan Scott. Share with me what you discovered as you try this technique, this writing life hack from me and Emily Dickinson. So get out there and write. The world is waiting for your words.